To create a great home theater room, what you need to study is your own room layout. And in my today's video, I am going to share with you the 5-step design process that I follow to create some of the best cinema room designs. And those of you who have already reached out to us using the forms, you must have seen that we ask you for your room photos or videos or layout. Neither of the three things are important for us to visualize the space. Now, in case you are starting new and you have the room layouts right in front of you, then let me guide you through the process of what all things you have to consider to make and build a great home theater room. The first step is to analyze the room dimensions and the layout. Now in this, the first thing that you would want to do is understand whether the room is square or rectangular. Square rooms typically require more acoustical treatment. Rectangular rooms offer good depth and can help you justify which wall to use for screen and which wall to use for your sitting. The second thing that you do in this first step is to understand where is the door location. Now door location plays a very important role and it is one of the most ignored factor during the civil stage. Now we typically recommend the doors to be away from the corners by at least 2 feet. So do not have the doors in the corner of the room. It can limit your screen or it will push your screen to one side or the setting to one side. So the room can get off centered, and that's why having the door a little away from the corner is always better. The third thing that you have to do, since it's a dedicated cinema room, you do not want too much of light, and to avoid too much of light, you need to have less number of windows in the room. Now I know ventilation is important, you can plan for an exhaust system, but try to reduce the number of windows to get the best cinema experience. And lastly, the ceiling height has to be at least 9 feet and above to get the best sound output. In certain cases wherein it's a basement or you're doing up a home theater in the attic, we have seen that the heights can go down up to 7 to 8 feet as well. Now in such rooms, getting the separation of atmos and the surround layers is going to be tricky. So that's why having a good height of 8-9 feet and above will always work in your favor to build a great cinema room. The second step is to determine the screen placement and the viewing distance. Now in most of the cases, you must have seen that the shorter walls are used to hang up your screen. The reason for it is the longer length wall increases the viewing distance and gives you a much more better cinematic feel. However, if your demand is for more number of settings which you cannot accommodate in a vertical orientation, then you can opt for the screen on the bigger wall and use the shorter wall as the viewing distance. In some cases that has worked well to give a much more better immersive experience as well. Only thing is, try to go for a curved screen in such cases. Now the ideal screen to sitting distance is typically 1.5x to 2.5x of your screen size. For instance, if you are going for a 100 inches screen, they say you have to be at 150 inches to 250 inches. Now I know these are very wide figures and you need the right answers, and to do that, just use the link that is shared above where we have done that calculations for you. Just put in your screen size and it tells you at what distance you need to sit. So please check the link to calculate that, because this is a very crucial calculation in determining two things. First of all, how big a screen you can achieve in that wall or in that room. Second, how far you should sit from that screen. Now different standards use different measurements. There is SMPT, there is THX, and then there is CDRP22. Now CDRP22 is the latest evolved standard that we rely mostly upon for designing our home cinema rooms. Another important factor in this is to understand the optimal eye level. Now optimal eye level has to match 1/3 the bottom of the screen. If you want to know something more about this, then we have done a full video of this, which you can again check using the link above or towards the end of this video. The third step to design a great home theater room is to understand the sitting layout and the number of rows. Now you can have a single row sitting, you can have multiple row sitting. You can use recliners, you can use sofa, you can use Indian beds, or you can even use mattresses to just lay them on the floor. There are multiple options for sitting. You can choose what works right for you. I have seen many people opting for sofas at the back whereas recliners in the front. My honest opinion, always prefer the recliners at the back and let the sofa come in the front. Two reasons: the sofa height is lesser, okay, compared to the recliner height, which you can adjust and make it a little taller. So that's why sofas having in the front will work better. Now also when you have multiple rows, you have to leave risers, or you have to create risers for each of the rows, so that the viewing angle is far more better for the person sitting behind, and the head of the front row will not come into your viewing angle. So all of this is very important, and the number of sitting rows will be again dependent upon the room size and the number of people that you want to accommodate. Typically, I've seen for a sofa, you have to leave a riser of at least 4 feet in depth. Similarly, if you are opting for recliners, it can be anywhere from 6 feet all the way up to 7 to 7.5 feet. You also have to leave some aisle space for people to walk around. Now, if you have two aisles, it's going to use a lot of space. If you create a single aisle in the middle, it can probably cut down on the space. So based upon your width of the room, you can decide as to how many aisles you want and how many rows of sitting do you want to create to get the best experience. One important factor in this is to understand which is the exact sweet spot according to which the experience is going to be created, because this sweet spot is, we call it also as a money seat. Somebody who is paying money for it and wants to have the best experience, well, which is that seat? Because from that seat you will have the best view and the best sound experience. So understanding which of the rows is going to be the sweet spot row, please do that homework as well while studying for your layout and while planning for the setting in your home theater room. The fourth step is to plan the speaker type and the audio layout. Now this is the most exciting part, because there are multiple speaker options. You get floor standing speakers, you get in-wall speakers, you get bookshelf speakers, satellite speakers. So what is it that you are trying to achieve? Are you okay to have the big box speakers which are known for high power in your home theater room, or are you looking for something which is a little cleaner and minimal in terms of the look? So in such cases, you can differentiate between the floor standings and the in-wall options. I personally prefer in-wall so that they can be at a higher height and can cover multiple rows. So if you're planning for a multiple row theater, avoid floor standing speakers, especially if you're going to keep them on the floor. We have done some theater rooms, which you can check using the link above, where floor standings have even gone behind the screen. The only thing is you have to leave that kind of margin behind the screen for the floor standing speaker, whereas an in-wall can consume only a 4-inch space behind the screen. Apart from the speaker type, the next thing that you also have to study in this step is to study the layout. Now, what do I mean by layout? In today's times, you can see Atmos can be created right from 5.1.2 configuration all the way up to a 9.4.6 configuration. So, which of these configurations are the right ones for you? Please study that and plan accordingly. More number of channels is going to increase the cost as well as increase the number of amplification channels. And that's why the audio layout is extremely important factor to then jump to the final step, which is the cost planning. Now, cost planning is like something without which you cannot move to the next step. You have to identify the right amount of money that you are planning to invest into creating this great home theater room. The first money is obviously going to go for the AV equipment. The other factors like acoustic and recliners are also going to be required for your budget planning. Now, while AV systems can start from as low as 5 lakh rupees for your theater room, if you want to plan for bigger setups like 7.2.4 or a 9.4.6, you will have to allocate a more larger budget for buying these equipments. Second thing, in today's times, we see a lot of laser projectors coming into the market. And the cost of the laser projectors compared to the lamp projectors is again going to increase the cost for you. So identifying the cost is extremely crucial, and if you are doing a good home theater of let's say around 20 feet by 12 feet, 13 feet, then somewhere around 8-9 lakh rupees is a good budget to start with. Okay, to start with. Now this is just my ballpark figure that I can recommend, but at the end of the day, it's your money and you need to plan how much are you willing to invest in creating a great home theater room. Now after these 5 steps is where the critical journey of identifying the brands all the way till the installation and calibration process comes into picture, and that is what we do for a livelihood. If you want us to help you with some of the best cinema rooms that we have designed, please check the link that is shared in the comments as well as in the description. And if you want to seek out some help or want to discuss about some options, feel free to reach out to me using again the link that is shared in the description for T20 consultants. That's it from my end. I, Tanmay Mehta, your home cinema consultant or home theater wale bhaiya, will see you again in the next video. Till then, keep liking and keep subscribing to our channel. Thank you so much.